The focal point for today's video is the Viridian RFX1 custom for the Bodyguard 2. The RFX1 is releasing any day now and is designed specifically for the Bodyguard 2, making it the smallest green dot optic available today. For those unfamiliar with the optic, we'll hit on some of its features real quick. The RFX1 has a 3 MOA green dot. It has no external controls. The sight will power on with motion and power off after being still for a period of time. Brightness is controlled automatically via an ambient light sensor. The housing is die-cast aluminum. It has an IPX4 rating, meaning it should handle light rain, but is not built to be submerged. Before we talk about our experience shooting the Bodyguard 2 with the RFX1 attached, let's first see the combo in action at the range. As we dive into our thoughts, the pros and the cons we've encountered using this sight, right off the bat, I'll tell you it makes an already fun gun to shoot even more fun to shoot come range day. Luckily, we've had this sight since the middle of November. We've been able to shoot it at the indoor and outdoor ranges in full bright light, outdoors in the shade, indoors under light, not under light, in temps ranging from the low 20s to the mid 60s, yada yada yada. Since sighting it in, we've had no issues with the sight either coming loose or losing zero. The green dot has been on every time we picked up the pistol, at a brightness easy to see but not overpowering. The green dot was easy to see in all lighting conditions we've tested it in, against different color and types of targets. We didn't experience any fogging up or cloudy lens action when moving from the warm truck to the colder winter weather at the range. I like that the dot is small in that 3 MOA dot, allowing for more pinpoint shots, though some they're going to want a larger dot, and it goes both ways. We didn't see any negative effect to the reliability of our Bodyguard 2 with the RFX1 attached across all ammo tested. In the 2 months since getting the RFX1, we've shot a good 1,000 rounds through our Bodyguard with it attached. The sight has held zero and remains securely attached to our pistol without issue. Speaking of which, one other nice feature of the RFX1 is, while Viridian recommends a gunsmith install, if you already have the tools and some experience replacing sights like we did, you can self-install this sight. I'm not a fan of the dovetail mounting systems in general, but in a situation like this, where the pistol is already very lean, no system comes without pros and cons. At this point, I'm not any more worried about the RFX1 randomly flying off my Bodyguard 2 than I am about the Hollow Suns mounted on our CZs and Smith & Wessons. The last pro we'll touch on is price. I'm guessing these will be priced somewhere in the $200 to $230 ballpark. At that price, the RFX1 is not much more than a new set of replacement iron sights. Compared to the custom milled slide and using another optic, with the RFX1 there's no cost and time to mill the slide, and you're likely paying less for the optic. There's no plate to worry about, and with the RFX1 being designed for the Bodyguard 2, the optic isn't wider than the pistol. As with all products these days, there are a few downsides to the RFX1. Mounting the sight using a dovetail mount will be a thorn in the side of some. Plenty of people on the internet have a horror story to tell about them. All I can really say on that front is, based on my experience, thus far, after more than 1,000 rounds on different days and types of weather, the sight has been durable and functional without fail and stayed attached to the firearm securely, and it's held zero. That can always change in the future, but until Doc Brown hits his head and sees the flux capacitor, thus unlocking the secret to time travel, well, today it is what it is. Another potential downside for some is going to be control, or lack thereof. Some are going to want the option to manually power on off, or slightly adjust brightness. I prefer something with powered brightness controls, but at the same time, I've never had an instance where the sight wasn't on and at a brightness I could use. With my manual adjust optics, probably at the start of every video, there's a bit where I adjust the brightness of the sight because the last place I shot it was not the place where we're filming that day. Anyway, the second to last negative we found, and the biggest for me, is the battery. The posted stats will say something like 30,000 hours on the lowest setting, but we can't control that setting. Sure, the sight has auto off, but odds are if you're carrying the pistol, you won't be truly stationary long enough for any period of time during your time wearing the pistol for it to power off. Let's say we get 10,000 hours of battery instead. That's a little over 400 days. So basically, once a year, probably the same time you change the batteries on your smoke alarms, you'll want to replace the battery on your RFX1. And to do so, you'll have to remove the sight from your pistol. Maybe I should have led with that. Oh well. I'm not a fan of having to remove the sight to change the battery, but with how small the sight and pistol are compared with reasonably priced battery technology of today, and again, it is what it is. The final, and for many, what will be the biggest downside of the sight like the RFX1 is concealability in a pocket. I inside waistband carry, so for me, concealability is unaffected, but as far as pocket carry goes, I can see there being some effect. It probably depends on what generation you're in. If you're in a big pockets generation, you won't be affected, but in skinny jeans, small pockets, well, that crowd probably it prints more than the tabloids on election day. Technically, the RFX1 attached fits in my pockets, but I'm also in that big pockets MacGyver generation. Let's shift gears and get to our final thoughts before this video gets even longer. So far, we've talked about reliability, durability, and ease of use. Let's now talk about benefits. Is there a benefit to having the RFX1 on your Bodyguard? If so, what is it? Some of the many things the crew and I looked at with the RFX1 were, is there any effect to our draw time, our time to target, our time to fire, and our accuracy? Double tap, and then a double tap, and then 6 panic shots. Okay. This is Bodyguard 2 iron sights. Okay. 1.29. Oh, even better, okay. 2.60. Oh, I felt fast. This will be Bodyguard 2 reflex sight. Okay. 1.33. Okay. Failure. 6.42 with the failure to feed. It's realistic, it's what happens. By far, the biggest advantage of the RFX1 compared to the Bodyguard without one was accuracy potential. That doesn't mean it makes you or the Bodyguard more accurate, but seeing more of your target and your sight relative to that target tends to help you shoot more accurately, at least in my opinion. We didn't find it positively or negatively affected our time to draw or time to fire the first shot. We did find it made it easier to quickly move between multiple targets accurately after the first shot. Bodyguard 2 micro reflex sight at some knockdown targets. I'll start with the gallon of water. If I hit that, I'll move to the hanging gong, and then hopefully some of these smaller creatures. Here we go. Got him. Overall, after 1,000 rounds and multiple range days, the crew and I are very happy with our RFX1. I'd go as far as to say it has exceeded our expectations. It was easy to install, has stayed attached to the pistol and held zero well, and most importantly, it's fun to use. All in all, what's not to like? Well, why don't we let you answer that in the comments? What are your thoughts on putting an optic on a pocketable 380? Are you in the camp who thinks the Pocket Kings are only meant for bad breath range engagements? Or do you think your noisy cricket has more punch than a peach of 5 gum? Let us know in the comments. Well, that seems like the perfect spot to end today's video. If you enjoyed today's presentation, like it, share it with your friends and family. Those things are free, and they really help the channel greatly. If you'd like to help us make more of these videos in the future, look into becoming a member. Fred and I really appreciate you getting this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a nice night. Bodyguard 2 with the micro reflex sight. I'll do a shot at our gallon jug of water. If I hit the gallon jug of water, we'll move to the hanging gong and maybe a couple other targets. Here we go.